So good setup, hinge, speed out in front, hinge, speed out in front. Grab my golf club. You know what, I might take a practice swing with the golf club too, just to get that same sort of feeling. And then we'll cap it off with a shot here. Great setup. Yeah, and that was the best yet. Hey everyone, in this video we're going to go over the secret to being a great senior golfer. Yes, there is a secret. I'm going to discuss the life cycle of a golfer and why, as we start to get into our senior years, we may see things deteriorate. And then of course I'm going to give you some fixes, a few drills that'll keep our game from deteriorating as we become a senior golfer. So smash that like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, thank me if this video had a positive impact on your golf game, contribute to the ongoing success of my YouTube channel, and comment. These things help in more ways than you know. Okay, so the first thing I want to go over is I want to share with you some of my experience of teaching in Naples, Florida for over 25 years. Those of you who don't know, Naples, Florida is a retired demographic, so I can safely say 95%, if not more, of my lessons have been delivered to senior golfers. And over the last few years, I've started to realize and notice something. Call me a slow learner, but there's really a life cycle to golfers. So what do I mean by that? Well, most of us picked up the game in our teens, our 20s, our 30s. And again, most of us didn't have access to proper training. And so we went to the driving range, we went to the golf course, and we just developed a swing. And what did we develop it with? We developed it with athleticism and with strength. Now, what happens as I become a senior golfer? I start to lose my athleticism. I don't run as fast as I used to. I don't jump as high as I used to. And I also start to lose my strength. So what needs to happen? What needs to happen is I need to replace this athleticism and this strength with proper technique, which I've probably never learned because the day I walked on a golf course, I didn't have a PGA trained teacher with me. So I want to go over a few things that are going to help you. And there's one other topic that I want to bring up here, and it comes to strength, it comes to power, which we already know were diminished. It was, when I was younger, it was good athleticism, good strength. Well, now it's starting to be diminished as I get into my senior years. But there's something that I see all the time, and it's about, if you want power, you've got to use the hips. You got to get the hips into it. Well, you have to realize that most of the students that I've taught have at least one hip replacement, maybe a knee replacement, maybe double knee replacement, maybe double hip replacement. Let's talk about the ankles. Very important joint in the golf swing, connects me to the ground. If we've ever sprained our ankle, that joint is compromised. It's not as strong as it used to be. And so who's never sprained an ankle? We all have. Not to mention other things that may have happened to compromise the strength of my ankles. I politely disagree with using or focusing so much on the hips because most of the people I teach from the waist down is compromised. So what do we need to replace that with? Again, proper technique. And then I need to make sure as a senior golfer that my swing is powered more with my arms and my shoulders and my chest. That's where most of my power is going to come from. So if I stand here with my feet together, and you've seen people, you know, they've hit balls off their knees and they can hit it just as far as they can when they're standing up. But if I put my feet together, you know, you can hear there's still a lot of swoosh, a lot of club head speed in there without using my lower body. Certainly the lower body, if I do it now using my lower body, you're going to hear a little bit more speed. So to say that the lower body doesn't matter, it's irrelevant. It's a chain, right? Like it starts down here and it kind of works up the chain. But back to my topic, as a senior golfer, we have to rely much more heavily on good arm swing, proper technique, more shoulder and chest driven versus lower body hips driven. All right, so how do we do that? Well, the first drill that I want to go over with you, and I've shot videos about it before, but there's some really important levers in the golf swing, and it's super important that I lever the golf swing properly during, or I lever the golf club, excuse me, properly during the golf swing, so I can get this effortless power that we're all chasing, especially as we become senior golfers. And so the first lever that I want to go over, and I get this question all the time in lessons or golf schools, is, you know, when I address a golf ball, should my hands be up or should they be down? And that's really the first lever in the golf swing. And what it is it's the angle between the shaft and your forearms. And so the answer is I want the hands down so I can create that proper angle, or that first lever in the golf swing. Now the second lever is when my lead arm, so for a lefty, that's my right arm, is parallel to the ground. Notice that club head is to the sky. So I call it an L position. It's a backwards L for me, but if you're right-handed, it'll be a proper L. But this angle between the shaft, that 90-degree angle between my lead arm and the shaft, is the second lever. So having these levers in my golf swing, you know, now I don't have to rely, I can let my lower body be a little more passive, which it's going to be as a senior golfer. So the only golfer I can think of off the top of my head that doesn't have this angle between the forearms and the shaft would be Bryson DeChambeau. Sets up with everything pretty much in a straight line, but we all know he swings the golf club a little differently, and certainly differently than a senior golfer would. So I kind of push him to the side as an outlier. Most of the golfers you see, as they set up to the golf ball, the hands are going to be lower. They're going to create this first lever in the golf swing, and it's like, well, why are they doing that? Well, if I don't have the first lever, kind of really hard to create the second lever. When I put that first lever in there with the hands down, well, much easier for me to get that second lever in there. Whoop, excuse me. So there's something that I want to, a drill that I want to go over with you. As I said, I've done it in other videos, but it's really the nucleus of the golf swing, and it's learning to get this hinge in there correctly. You know, get that first lever, get that second lever. As always with senior golfers, and you can look at some of my other videos to find this, I like a strong grip. I like a strong club face. I don't even mind seeing the club face hooded a little bit. If you're a senior golfer, we want this, I have an 8-iron here. I want this 8-iron to look more like a 6 or 7-iron than 9 or wedge, which is what most people do because they tend to open the club face. So having that stronger grip, having the face hooded a little bit, just helps me to make that face stronger, which as a senior golfer, there's definitely some benefit to that. So that's the first thing I do. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get in here and I'm going to make sure my hands are low and I've got that first lever, and then I'm going to work on that second lever. I'm going to kind of look at it, make sure it looks good. I'm going to look back at the golf ball, and I'm just going to tap the ball off the top of the tee. Now, you probably can't see that on camera, but that ball probably flew 80 yards, and I stopped. And I do this drill all the time in golf schools. I start a lot of my golf schools with this drill, and somebody at some point as we start doing it will be like blown away, like, oh my goodness, that's going as far as when I was making this big long swing with the club face out of position. So a lot of benefit comes from doing this drill. I'm going to just walk through that one more time. So you go to the range, you're a senior golfer. Hey, I want to work on becoming a great senior golfer. What I'm going to do, a little stronger grip, maybe hood the club face a little bit, just get that face strong, whether it's through the grip or hooding the face or both. I'm going to get those hands nice and low at address, create that first lever. We'll work on the second lever. Look at it, make sure everything's in a good position, look back at the golf ball, tap it off the top of the tee. Now, once you get better at that, we can make it one motion. So I'm going to set up again. Notice I have the ball on the tee, and everybody always asks me, why do you have it on a tee? And the reason is I want you focused on your swing and not the ball hitting the golf ball. And so when I put the ball up in the air on a tee, it tends to relax people. So I've got my strong grip, good club face, and now I'm not going to stop and check it. I'm just going to rely on the feels that I've just created with the first two, and I'm just going to kind of hinge and unhinge. And we know it's much more difficult than this, but if I really dumb down or simplify the golf swing, all I'm doing is hinging up and unhinging. That's a really basic golf swing. So now that I got a feel for that club hinging, my setup is better. Let's just go ahead and go real time here and hit one and see how we do. So a little stronger grip, good club face. I'm gonna get in here, I'm gonna get that first lever set. My hands are nice and low. I'm gonna work on that second lever. And that was really solid. That was a good golf shot. Nice high little draw. Love to see that ball flight. So that's something I would definitely encourage you to do if you're a senior golfer or approaching being a senior golfer, and you really don't even have to wait till then. I mean, if you're 20, 30 years old, I mean, start to get this good technique in there so you have it when you get into your senior years. So the next thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about the arm swing and creating good arm swing that we can now blend with these levers that we've discovered. I've got effortless power. Half a golf swing, I can hit it really far. Well, imagine as I start to get this into a full golf swing. By the way, creating those levers, you know, having lever 1, having lever 2, helps me to extend my backswing too. If you're somebody who's really short, swinger, start to get these angles in here with a good shoulder turn, and you'll see that club get to parallel, if not past parallel, which again, for a senior golfer, let's do everything that we can to create speed, to create distance. All right, so what's an arm swing drill that we can do? This isn't real fancy. These are things you've seen before, but now that I understand the setup and having these angles, what I can do is I can just flip my club around and I can make some swings, and getting that speed, remember from other videos, we want that speed in front of the golf ball, so then we know the club was going really fast when it hit the golf ball. I don't want all my speed back here because I cast it. I want all my speed in front. So the other way that you can do this, if you don't have a club, I've got the fumbles today. If you don't have a club, or in lieu of a club, is I could take an alignment stick and I could just do the same thing. Make sure we have that good angle you can see between the alignment stick and my forearms. Work on hinging it in the backswing, creating that lever, and then as much speed as I can get out in front of the golf ball. So let's hit a couple golf balls just doing this. Give a couple swings one way here, see if I can put everything together. So I'm just gonna turn the club around, get some speed out in front of the golf ball. So I'm blending good arm swing with these levers that I know how to create now. I'm gonna get my strong grip, strong club face, my hands nice and low, and just blend it all together. Yeah, and that was a very solid golf shot as well. So the other way I'm gonna do it now, just grab one more ball here, grab my alignment stick. Just give me a little different feeling. So good setup, hinge, speed out in front, hinge, speed out in front. Grab my golf club. You know what, I might take a practice swing with the golf club too, just to get that same sort of feeling. And then we'll cap it off with a shot here. Great setup. Yeah, and that was the best yet. So now you know the secret to being a great senior golfer. Replace the athleticism and the strength with good technique. And I gave you a couple drills to help you do that. That L drill is an awesome way to do it off a tee. Start to blend that into your swing. Once you get good at that, learn to swing your arms properly, use an alignment stick, turn that club around. It'll help you tremendously. So I have 2 more videos here right now that I promise will continue to help you improve your game. And remember, please like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, thank me, and comment.